Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Invicta 8928OB Pro Diver. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing my Cadison C1030, and Grogu's wearing my Bernie AM126M. Grogu asked Boba Fett what bothered him most about the Pike incursion on his territory. He said he really missed Garsa Fwip. Really wish they didn't kill her. When that Twi'lek got in the zone, like a flash, she would get this feeling that would make it happen. Then she would become a maniac, dancing like she never danced before. Here's the watch. It comes in your typical Invicta clamshell box. Although when I got that Invicta 1953, it didn't come in a clamshell box. Also unusual is it didn't come with a cushion inside. It came with this instead, which seems a little cheaper, but oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's just a box. So here's the watch. Many people hate Invicta watches, so why am I having an Invicta on my channel after all the blowback I had for daring to review a movement watch without roasting it? First of all, I don't hate Invicta. They make quite a few watches that I would never wear or review, but that doesn't cause me to hate them. I just don't get watch hating. Everyone rags on Hublot. I've never seen a Hublot, as we do not have a Hublot AD in my area, so why would I hate a watch I've never held or tried on? When I first got into watches and wanted a dive-style watch, I almost bought this particular Invicta. I bought the Grand Pro Diver instead, which was a mistake because at 47mm it was just too big and heavy, and I ended up sending it back and bought a Neymar instead. If I would have bought this one, I would have been satisfied as it's much smaller, lighter, and more comfortable. This watch is obviously inspired by the Rolex Submariner blue two-tone known as the Bluesy. Rolex won't let you have any blue in your sub without having some gold in it. This Invicta does not have any gold in it, considering the fact that it costs under $100. I paid $40 to $5 for this during an Amazon Lightning deal, which is an incredible price for an NH35 powered automatic. Even when not on sale, you can get it for under $100, which is still not a bad price for what you're getting. The watch is 40mm at the bezel, 47.5mm lug to lug with inverted end links, 13.6mm thick if you don't count the Cyclops, has a 20mm lug width, and weighs 144 grams on the supplied bracelet with 2 links removed. The bezel is a full 120 click. I counted it. A lot of the dive style watches in this price range have 90 click bezels. The bezel action is quite stiff, but the clicks are solid and there is no back play. The insert is a painted metal and not ceramic, and there is a Lume pip. The dial is purple. I remember I reviewed a blue L'Oreal with a purple dial, and I was not very happy about the purple. However, there is a little historical precedence going on here, as Rolex was using purple dials on the reference 16613 Bluesy that came out in 1988. This was also before the ceramic bezel, so the purple dial kind of fits. I still prefer blue though. We have the applied Invicta name and logo up top. Then we have the words automatic, professional, 200 meters, and water resistant printed on the bottom. Seems like they could have removed redundant text like water resistant or professional. The indexes are applied in Lume. They seem to be a bit smaller than most sub-style watches. Here, take a look at the Bernie that Grogu's wearing. As you can see, yeah, the Invicta indices are a lot smaller. The hands are loomed. We have the Mercedes hour hand and the pencil minute hand, lollipop second hand, with the Invicta logo as a counterbalance. I have never liked the Invicta logo as a counterbalance. I wish Invicta would stop doing that. Then it has a borderless date window at the 3 with Cyclops that only magnifies 1.5. See, look at the date window. It's not a huge magnification. However, since it's already a pretty big date window, 1.5 is plenty. However, it would have been better just to leave it off, because you could see the date window just fine without the Cyclops. The crystal is a Flame Fusion, which is Invicta's hardened glass. I have never tested Invicta Flame Fusion, so I don't know how scratch resistant it is. I don't know if it's better than regular glass or not. So one of these days I'll have to buy myself a cheap Invicta that I can damage and give it a scratch test like I did with that Sterling a while ago. But you can see through it just nice without any AR coating. Sometimes sapphire can be a pain on a really cheap watch like this, because if it doesn't have proper AR coating, it's just really hard to see through. We have a sign screw down crown, which helps with the 200 meters water resistance. It pops nicely when you unscrew it. Really good pop there. And the threads seem to catch really easy when you screw it back down, and you don't feel a lot of thread resistance. So it screws down nice. The case is a solid stainless steel with polished sides and brushed lug tops. And of course we have the Invicta name engraved in the side. This is very common in Invicta watches. Most people hate this. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent about it. I hate the Invicta counterbalance much more than I hate the Invicta engraving on the case. We have a screw down display case back showing off the NH35 movement. Then it gives the name Invicta, says all stainless steel, because this is indeed an all stainless steel watch. Then it gives the water resistance of 200 meters, and then has the model number on the bottom. And also, being a screw down, it doesn't have the Rolex style screw down, so you can remove it with a normal case back removal tool. Here's the watch on the Timegrapher. As you can see, it's running about 12 seconds fast. Always better to run fast and slow, because it's a lot easier to set a fast watch. All you have to do is hack it and wait for time to catch up. When it's a slow watch, you have to actually move the hands. So let's go ahead and switch positions and see if that helps at all. And it looks like it's running about 9 seconds fast. Oh, it's going about 6 seconds fast now. So that's better in that position. Let's give it one more rotate. And that made it to about 5 seconds. So once again, this is an NH35, and the position really matters. So you can usually get some pretty good specs. You just have to find the right position. But no, this is a good movement. The stainless steel bracelet has hollow end links, but they fit in the lugs just fine, so there's no rattle or anything. The end links are also inverted, which helps those with really small wrist. The links are 3-link, but not fully articulating, as the center link is fixed with the outer links. The gold color on the center links is just a coating. As you can see, the bottoms aren't gold colored. And the links have push pin adjusters and not screw pin adjusters. There's really nothing wrong with push pin adjusters. They're really easy to take out, especially if you have a proper tool. The clasp is a press clasp, and it's polished, where a lot of the cheaper clasps are not. Remember, Rolex used to have clasps that looked a lot like this. And the clasp is not a push button clasp, it's a friction clasp, and it's pretty tight. You gotta give it some pretty good pressure to undo it. And it does have a safety fold over. And thankfully it has 4 positions of micro adjust. You need 4 positions, especially when you have big links like this, to get that perfect fit. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. It wears nice. It's a little thick for a watch of this size, but since it's rather light for its size, it doesn't feel top heavy or anything. So it's very comfortable. Just you can see some pretty good gaps there. I wish the case back wasn't as thick as it is, but it still feels real nice when you wear it. I'm not going to show this to you on any other straps because this is a bluesy, so why would you ever do that? The whole point is to have the two-tone. Here we are in the Lume room. The watch doesn't disappoint because I never had any high hopes for the Lume to begin with. As we speed up the time, everything fades quickly. At least the hands are better than the indices, but the Lume pip is not, which makes this useless as a dive watch. A Lume pip should always be at least even with the minute hand because they're kind of a pair. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like the fact that it has inverted end links, is comfortable to wear, has a true 120 click bezel with no backplay, has 4 micro adjusts on the clasp, and has great crown action. What are my gripes and groans? Purple dial. Yes, I know a Rolex Bluesy for a while did have a purple dial. I just wish it was blue. And the indices are pretty small. I wish they were a bit bigger. And the Lume pip just doesn't keep up with the minute hand. If you're going to have a dive watch, the Lume pip should at least keep up with the minute hand. I don't like the Invicta counterbalance on the second hand. And this friction clasp is really hard to open. I wish they had push button clasps. Do I recommend this watch? For the $45 I paid, most definitely. For the $99.99 you're going to pay at Sam's Club, yes, you're still getting a solid steel watch with an NH35 for around $100. I think the watch is worth that. I mean, obviously, you're not going to buy it if you don't like the looks of it. So if you like the looks of it and you want it and you can get it for $100 or less, then go for it. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Invicta 8928OB. And I will be back with another review or unboxing. Bye.